Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Does Jisoo need voice lessons ASAP? With love.
An earthquake. But we've made it. We've made it to a time when there's actually so much Blackpink solo content to consume and hopefully enjoy. We have already discussed
if we
Lisa.
found someone he actually likes.
He does. There's other. He likes people.
Jennie and Rose, so it is time to talk about the very much busy and active lately JISOO. I assume that you have seen my previous Blackpink solo videos, so you may know that this video's focus is on singing and the technical vocal analysis. However, you will find my
I don't know if you've seen previous other girls. I don't remember.
more personal, subjective thoughts on JISOO's solo project and era towards the end. Naturally, this video is split into sections. 가자! As one of the group's lead vocalists, JISOO is believed by many fans to be quite a misused idol. In my opinion, the line distribution itself is far less problematic than the parts themselves that are given to her. The root issue is that JISOO's treatment as a vocalist in Blackpink doesn't allow her best qualities to shine and forces her to share the same range and melodies with Rose. Some exclusions do apply, but in general, Blackpink's producers tend to treat JISOO and Rose as sort of equals without really acknowledging their differences.
He puts the background music too loud in his videos. It's hard to hear him.
Rose, whose voice is not only
captions?
higher, but who's also a pretty notably more technically skilled vocalist than JISOO, handles these parts better. I also find it
Listen, at least they're singing live, okay?
criminal that not once have we heard JISOO and Rose harmonize together on a Blackpink song. Congratulations, YG. But I digress.
I mean,
They never harmonize together.
I guess not. That's what he's saying. But to be fair, though, what song Blackpink has to hum? I guess they do have a couple slower songs where they could have harmonized. Yeah, I guess.
Taking a fair look at the vocal skills of JISOO, we can point out both strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with the good. Undoubtedly, JISOO's sweet spot lies in her lower to mid-range. It is where her voice sounds the most comfortable and the most relaxed. Her placement here is usually naturally forward. She can keep a nice even airflow and solid tonality.
Throwing shit.
I think it's the animals.
While the quality of control and support could have been notably improved, it remains an area of great potential and a safe zone for JISOO. Another strength to note is pitch accuracy. JISOO seems to have a naturally good musical ear, which gives her a solid intonation, meaning the accuracy of pitch while singing.
Take us to the start, go to the start.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about yesterday when we were doing well, like encores, and that, you know, we have people casually just singing and they're on beat, and then people and encore, there's an excuse, oh, they're tired. Please.
If you pay attention, you will seldom catch JISOO sing off pitch. Even when there is strain present, she still will be able to reach the right notes in terms of pitch. Off-key moments happen sporadically and most likely when she's singing out of her natural comfort zone. Intonation can often be something that vocalists who are relative to JISOO in skill, sometimes even those who are technically stronger than her, struggle with, so that is a win on JISOO's part. I believe that her pitch accuracy, along with a good deal of stamina on stage, is why JISOO is praised by fans for being stable. Although still somewhat underutilized
so
and not
interesting.
fully explored, head voice and falsetto are tools that JISOO uses with relative
Wow.
ease and
That's not easy for her then. Every time having to sing, and she has a better range, but she is always forced out of her range.
Yeah, she said she's underutilized.
confidence.
In the world you see, it doesn't matter.
Her upper register can range from a softer, airier sound to a bit more full and connected. What's more, JISOO offers a certain degree of dynamics control, understanding of legato, and minimal occasional vibrato. So when it comes to JISOO's weaknesses, truthfully, there are plenty. The most evident one is that her mix register is plagued by various technical issues, from painfully raised larynx and a few types of tension, jaw tension, tongue tension, glottal tension, to an overly heavy chesty mix. These problems appear early into her range and they all manifest in strained, constricted, tense belts, with power being swapped for
I wonder if
pain.
you could say that in front of Jisoo's face. I feel like that would be a funny reaction
I
to see Jisoo's response.
I wonder if there's like a singer that doesn't have issues at all, like a
Yeah,
perfectly
yeah.
perfect singer that can do everything. No, I don't think there is one.
아직 나는 그대로인 걸 내가 걸어가느니 무상해 하는
JISOO isn't afraid of using a good amount of air during belting, yet with the amount of tension, there's no way for her to belt healthily. Yes, a JISOO biased fan is gonna be able to find some stronger, more relaxed moments,
믿지만 사랑해
but those are the minority. Another big issue is the excessive nasality. To overcompensate for the amount of pressure and tension, JISOO seems to somewhat intuitively place her voice around the nose in an attempt to make singing a bit easier for herself, especially when reaching a bit higher notes.
이제서야 나를 위해서 춤을 출 수 있어 날 그 생각들 가끔 나를 자꾸 괴롭히지만 I say fuck it right.
So I wonder if that's why Gina have vocal coaches to work with her on that, or what?
I mean, this from the beginning, he said the whole point why these things happen is because she's not singing in her range. She has to
Oh.
sing next to
Okay.
Rose Day's range. So I feel like she will face these issues even more, or even be comfortable with these issues, because she's always in a range that's not for her.
Okay, fair enough. Then don't we have coaches that see her range so can sing in her range?
I guess that's not the popular sound per se.
I guess.
And I feel it, I ain't gon' conceal it. While you're talking, 빗속에 널 담아 아프더라도 너만 있으면 돼.
This strategy is, however, not only pretty unpleasant to ear, but it also prevents good openness and constricts the sound. Her strengths could also be developed far more. Both her lower range as well as her head voice could become wonderful assets for a vocalist to have, but they need more work. These weaknesses are all signs or symptoms, you could say, of a generally untrained vocalist. Similarly to Jenny,
He loves
without
that
a
song
solid
gone. I
enough
think he uses it
technical
as a background song for every
a lot.
video.
That song, yeah.
Foundation. Jisoo is an intuition-based vocalist, not really an intentional technique-based one. Pretty much for every area of true promising potential, it seems like there's a technical issue that limits her voice. So correcting unhealthy habits while taking a few steps back to build a foundation of good vocal cords connection, strong breath support, healthy vibrato, and more would help Jisoo become a vocalist of a higher caliber. Out of Lisa, Jennie, and Jisoo, I believe it would be Jisoo to experience the quickest and most spectacular results from a good vocal training. I think Jisoo enjoys
I
singing.
agree.
I think there are things to praise her for.
If she's gonna be able to now, just it only will matter what she sounds like and what she sounds like with the others.
I agree, but my thing is like, how does YG not see this though?
Because they're okay with this. They want the sound that what's better. What's a better sound?
I
So
guess
it's a compromise.
they don't prioritize vocals; they prioritize the
They do, because
vibe.
Rose is a really good vocalist too as well. I don't know if her and Rose are considered co-leads, but she's also one of the main vocalists.
As a vocalist. And needless to say, Jisoo has potential. The question is, how serious
And they
is
like
she
that
willing
sound
to take
because
it?
I see like YG even had Baby Monster practice Rose sound, like sing the song Gone. So sing to Rose sound.
So how does the new solo material translate to live setting, you ask? Well, let's find out, especially since Jisoo has promoted Earthquake twice in music shows and is even on tour across Asia. Starting with the two music show performances, I think Jisoo's energy truly shines. She seems really confident and enthusiastic about presenting this new material, which is awesome to see. Now, of course, we need to mention the singing aspect. I must admit that right off the bat, I personally expected Jisoo to sing live, and watching these two performances, I have been convinced that, yeah, she was singing live. But now that I went back to it, I think I was wrong. I stacked these two performances on top of each other and they match perfectly to a T, which would never be the case with live vocals. So, pre-recorded vocals. From what I can hear, however, I don't
I didn't get that. Well, I mean, if he did the math, he did the math, I guess. But to us, first performance seemed like a
Him too. He thought so too.
no. I think no. For me and for us, I think we talked about it. First performance, Earthquake was sounded like lip sync. Second sounded live.
So maybe the pre-recorded vocals went down.
I don't. I mean, if he matched the videos, to imagine. I mean, you do that is, I can't argue that. That's facts. It's just, I guess, I don't know. Sounded like live. The second one, the first one, yeah, the first one sounded kind of pre-recorded though.
think the vocal track itself has been pitch corrected, so that's why it sounds realistic and natural. Perhaps she wanted to focus on the stage present aspects without having to multitask and sing live. I don't know, maybe a slight letdown, but nothing too crazy. The performances were enjoyable nonetheless. Moving on to the Lights Love Action Tour, which by the way at the time I am making this video is still not finished. Despite a short setlist,
I
the
love
show
her
is actually
outfits.
far
She
from
looks good.
minimalistic, with fully choreographed performances, dancers, background visuals, and the overall production value. This time, Jisoo is definitely singing live. Her voice can be heard best during sound checks in my opinion. However, she is singing during the rest of the concert, albeit with the help of a backing track. The backing track itself I find a little tricky though, since its volume kind of varies from a song to song and even between shows. I think.
Wow.
Basically, there are moments where you can hear Jisoo very clearly.
What kind of fan cam that was though? What we were looking at this one? Yeah. What the fuck is
They were
this?
dancing. They were like, "Wait, I forgot what I was doing."
And there are times when you have to more actively look for her voice.
울고 싶지 않으니까 하루가
I wonder if those songs are that you have to look for her voice, or the older songs where it's not really the proper way how she used to sing now as a solo, because I feel like she's breaking old habits too in the same
Mm.
at the same time.
Regardless, the use of a backing track doesn't take away from the effort and work put into singing during each show. As far as the quality of Jisoo's singing goes, the voice seems quite rested and in a good condition. Technically speaking, I don't hear any notable changes, so things I've mentioned in the vocal technique section still do apply. Jisoo, however, I believe is doing her best with what she's got. Putting the more strictly technical discussion aside, as a fan, I am very much proud of Jisoo. I've seen her passion and dedication to music and the art of performing for as long as I can remember being a fan of Blackpink. Admittedly, my expectations regarding a solo musical project were not much. So imagine what an absolute delight Amortage has been. A cohesive mini album with a high quality production and a slick sound that's familiar yet somehow fresh and revitalizing. All 4 songs have personality and something unique to them. Co-written by Jisoo herself, put the now
Has he
borderline
digested everyone's album?
I'm not sure. I
I'm
don't think so,
curious.
because we've been reacting to his newest. I think he drops every Sunday. He hasn't dropped nothing for Lisa or Jenny, so I don't think so.
embarrassing previous solo singles to shame. Amortage may be more of a delicious appetizer than a full meal, but I personally am glad that she wasn't pressured to release a full album just for the sake of it. More than ever, Jisoo radiates with an organic, calm confidence that is more about showing rather than telling. To see Jisoo do things in her own way is what a fan like me truly needed. And that, you guys, is
Yeah,
Okay. Pretty cool.
yeah. This album was good. I enjoyed
Yeah, I
it too.
enjoyed it too as well. I'm happy to see that she's able to like focus on her needs as a singer in her own work.
Mm.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.